frequently that I jump in the car and, when I forget to look at the traffic reports, that I get stuck in the worst. And I got to make that fateful call to my supervisor, like, hey, I'm going to be late. We have an attendance point system, so it's like, if you're late by 15 minutes, it's like 0.75 of a point. Yeah, it's quite frustrating. That stuff can rack up pretty quickly. Me living up here in Lakeside, my work being all the way down the south side, it doesn't seem like it's that far. It really isn't. But it's just the way the highways are set up and the way that people drive. It just makes it pain in the butt. So I might try to see the feasibility of jumping on a bus and going.
What the hey? It doesn't receive the code? Okay, yeah. That'd be a good thing to do. I thought about working for GRTC once or twice, and I could take the bus directly to the terminal if I wanted to, and it'd be a bus change. But I think could probably go down to the transfer plaza and pick up the 20, or have to transfer somewhere out there and pick up the 20 and get off right there in front of the police department and the GRTC. But that never came to fruition. I don't really care much anymore. I thought about washing buses, but it doesn't look like they care about doing that. So I just dropped the whole idea. I'd do the same thing if I want to go out to the Richmond Raceway and pick up some janitorial job. I could ride the bus out there too, and it might be. I think the 14 might run all the way out there. It may not. It may transfer to something else, but still, it would be a very viable way of getting around town, as it is already, anyways.
Well, assuming they're all on time. See, I would imagine that's probably wishful thinking, but if you plan it right, give yourself, I don't know, maybe an hour of play in there, you should be okay. I would have to see how the routes play out, when I'd have to be out by my stop first, and when I would arrive at the south side. Also, if the buses are 24/7, which I imagine they're not, because if I get off at midnight and the buses stop at midnight, how am I going to get home? There's always that factor. KA4JKL.
Well, the irony of that is you could, slough on out there a little early on the bus, and then after your shift is up, you may get off at 3 in the morning. You may have to wait till 4 for the first bus, or maybe 5. I'm not sure. Some of these drivers get up at 3 o'clock and they're on the job, and I understand they're on there pretty early, depending on the route. I think 19 is that way out there on the west side, and maybe some of those that run down to the south side. I forget the numbers of the buses and the routes and whatnot. But anyways, they run pretty early sometimes. It's not 24/7, which would be cool. You're supposed to have double-decker buses eventually anyways, by the way. That may change and, run them all 24/7. Who knows? But the worst part, sometimes you get a surly driver, and they're not always easy to deal with. And them and their troubles on their job and being a union member and all that stuff. And the rare disgruntled passenger.
I've always said that I wanted to see a light rail system in Richmond. Pittsburgh's got one. It's a very small system. They usually really only runs to the north side of Pitt. It's not really all that handy throughout the rest of the city and metropolitan area. But Pittsburgh's got a small subway system there. Philadelphia's got a really nice one. To be honest with you, I'm actually quite envious of Philly's light rail system. The SEPTA and the PATCO rail systems that they've got in Philly are actually quite outstanding. If we had something like that in the city that run down to Midlothian, I know people down there would love it. Heck, even up here, if we just had a straight north type of rail system, people would very much appreciate it. And I'm sure it would alleviate a lot of the traffic that you get in the downtown area or flowing into. Wishful thinking probably never happens because a lot of people don't even use the bus, and now it's free. But I usually around here don't even, when I see the buses pass by, they ain't got nobody on them. It's kind of I would say sad. I just feel that's a little wasteful.
Well, it depends on the time that you run. Early in the morning, it's very busy. They're packed, standing room only, and about 9:30 or 10 o'clock, you hop on the bus and it's almost empty unless there's students in town. Then it might be 1/3 to one half full, and run out to Carytown, for instance, and mess around for a couple hours out there in the morning and get back on by lunch. You can get back on that return bus at lunch and be the only one, and sometimes pick up a few passengers and drop off. You run right by the Social Security office down there on Cary Street, and sometimes you'll pick up a few, and they might ride with you down to the transfer plaza. They may get off a little early, depending on where they live, and change the bus. I change the bus there and get on the 5, and just come across the Lee Street Viaduct and hop off at Mosby and P. And that bus is kind of halfway full because most folks will transfer from somewhere else, and run all the way out to the Walmart there on that side of town across 64, I guess. So it's kind of hit and miss depending on the time of day. And it's been a long time since I've been on there on any bus after, I guess, anywhere between 12 and 3. After 3, I imagine it's pretty slammed anyways because kids and people getting off work. KA4JKL, K4ARX.
Yeah, I figured it would be certain times. Usually when I see them, it's in the evening when I'm driving to work. And when I was still working at AutoZone, they had just put a bus stop right there in front of that AutoZone that I worked at on Brook Road. And I was like, good Lord. GRTC is expanding so much. Like, they've got bus stops all the way up here on Brook Road now, right there in front of,
Not the 511,
what's the name of that institute? St. Joseph's Villa. There and in front of the Walmart right on Brook. So those were never there before, I think like late 2024. And I mean, it's good that they put them there. Now people can get around because there was a point where the closest bus stop was all the way down off of Brook and Azalea, and people from my neck of the woods up here would have to walk that distance from north side all the way down to Azalea. I mean, that's kind of a hike. But now that they've got bus stops up here, they seem to be pretty beneficial because I always see people waiting at those bus stops now. It was much needed, but now it's got me thinking, hey, maybe I should save money, save wear and tear on my cars because I don't like putting miles on the Cadillac, and the Suburban is a rolling hunk of, crap.
You own it.
I want to try to preserve my vehicles. That way I can, save up some money to do some maintenance on them. Well, that's ride the bus while it's free. So that'd be a good idea. But it is now 3:20. I'm gonna hop off here and get ready to start my shift. I got to get a little snack in me before I start signing in because if I take my first call and I'm a little hangry, it might not go so well. How's this F3 to you? Good chat. And I'm pretty sure we'll pick this up at some other point. I do take a break today, probably around I would say 8 o'clock. So I might jump back on here and see who's up. So, 7-3 to you, and tell Brendan said hey. I'll catch up with you later. K4ARX, KA4JKL.
All right, I look forward to it. I'll leave the radio on, of course, and probably talk to you around break time. And I'll send the message, but for sure she likes it better by direct message or whatever, SMS or Messenger, or send her a personal message via social media. I guess she'd be really thrilled. I think, or she can get over it. Either way. 73 KA4JKL K4ARX. I'm gonna be clear. Crying out loud.
Engine 5 and truck 3. Motor vehicle accident. At exit 78, Interstate 95 northbound, Boulevard. Engine 5.
It's not that far away.
Motor vehicle accident. At exit 78, Interstate 95 northbound, Boulevard. Cross streets are Night Road in Belvedere.
Man, that thing is strong.
Time out. 1620.
Can't hardly capture the 511. Here. Oh well. That's just, whoops. Because of where the antenna is. Up there overhead.
1300 East Marshall Street at North Hospital and CD campus.
It's alright.
Cross streets are North 12th Street and College Street. On tap channel 2.
Definitely worth the experiment.
1621.
So you can tell on the left there, I can listen to the fire department. I can watch the aircraft overhead, and I can see impending weather for an upgrade. That's pretty cool, I think. I'm a little low on devices. I got this one for the camera, and the other two, one for SDR, and one for whatever. It was actually running 3 different things. I was watching the weather map, my radar, but now that I have this, I can, kind of consolidate. I need more smart devices. Just what I need, more smart devices. But yeah, it's kind of fun, and it's working out. I need to get my tablet fixed. I need to get these computers up and running so I can put some software over there and SDR and put those, or put at least one. Oh, I got to sneeze. Excuse me. Put one Radio Shack Pro 2052 on, and I think that would be fun too. I'll probably find the software. I think it's just as much open, whatever, like anything else, and that would be kind of neat too. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. I just haven't had the resources to do it. It's kind of like this. Everything requires resources, and sometimes it's free. Sometimes it's lacking one little part, like a little adapter, and I'm waiting on one or two. I've got one piece of coax that works on the SDR dongle that almost immediately connects up to an outside antenna, well, the above antenna, but it takes a 18-foot piece of coax from CV radio that acts like just a barrel connector, but it's a lot of coax, so I kind of wanted to reduce that. If I had one simple male-to-male barrel connector, that would shorten this about 18 feet. I don't know if it would make a difference. It might, but it couldn't hurt. It's one of the few things I don't have. I don't have any size male barrel connectors. I have all female and T's, but so far so good. I'm liking it.